All right, something actually really important that I think I might have thought about this before, and I love it. Yes, the Irish are showing their pride. Yes, there's there's something I particularly love when everybody kind of shows like, yeah, I like, I am who I am, and I like who I am, and you could like who you are. I love when people show their pride. That's it just that it's not about setting others down in some way or something, and that's why it's like, yeah, I mean, but that it goes back a long time ago that I was like, be proud that your ancestors worked this hard, you know, just be proud, and then show out for them, because they're watching from the other side. Is this something I saw, license plate thing that had colors showing? I dug it. But anyway, and even like when people have stuff like, Mexico, Puerto Rico, things like that, it's like, yeah, show your that's who you are. You're both American and of that descent. Show pride, have a heart full of pride. Anyway, like Percolate once said in a beautiful song. So, failed socialist experiments. Well, I want to actually point out Hamas and Hezbollah and the Americans who are pro-Palestine. Okay, this is the weirdest thing. So you guys have ended socialism in Israel with your attacks. The labor Zionists of the kibbutzim no longer have power because Netanyahu needed to get them out of the way. Very few people, like Tom Hartman, must be kind of flipping out a little. He must be kind of like, wait, no. Doing a toonces as the car goes flying off the cliff. Pussies driving cars. Yes, drove it off the cliff. But and I mean this for real. People don't know, and I really mean, like, I would highly suggest if Hassan or Vaush think I'm incorrect about this, just contact him. Contact Tom Hartman's show and ask him, what is this white paper that Netanyahu put together decades ago that went after, that he said that you have to end labor Zionism, that you will not be able to have a type of hard nationalism in Israel without labor Zionism around. And then look up on Wikipedia labor Zionism, the socialists of Israel. It's amazing, the mentality, because it was like, you need a hammer, I'm your hammer. You need this, I'm that. I'll be whatever you need. So socialists at one time were very dedicated in this manner, but no longer, because now the issue is that something like that, you guys ruined it. So now there can be no longer any kind of, labor Zionism ever again. Because the moment that the kibbutzniky and the peaceniky have power again, they never know what might happen. Because remember, they're the ones who always were dedicated to peace. It's like a real big deal. And so when you guys attacked them on that day, you actually attacked the very people who wanted to make peace with you. Like the actual people themselves who vote for peace in Israel, you killed them. You actually attacked just those people. Yeah, and people who don't know about this, which I think is a lot of people, you don't know what you've done to kind of socialism by showing the socialists of Israel that there's no way of having peace with you. Because remember, Hamas and Hezbollah are Marxist-Leninists. They're fundamentally a type of socialist organizations, ethno and socialist and religious in this really weird way. But yeah, you guys really botched this. I'm like really blown away by the botching. That's some serious botchment. The power of botching. Yeah. And I mean, that's it. Do you understand? Like, the only ones who might still be left, they probably moved here. Remember, Scott Ritter recently, it was like, oh, in Israel's, it's going so badly. Israel people are fleeing and blah, blah, blah. And, and so I'm like, okay, I'm living in a blue enclave here and there. I have heard the accent. Very rarely. Most likely because people who are Israeli wouldn't really like, they wouldn't like blue enclave Oregon. They wouldn't. It would be low class. I'm sorry. It just straight up. I was over there a long time ago, and for them they would be like, this is pretty rural, pretty janky. Why are there so many people on like all the drugs everywhere, allowed to do whatever they want? Oh, and by the way, some guys kept trying to pitch tents in the area. Yeah, not anymore. Just saw all their fucking junk pulled over to some spot and then a sign in front of it from the police. This will all be cleaned up within 24 hours. Notice to whoever owns this crap. Your crap will be cleaned up in 24 hours. So that's over, fellas. In Blue Oregon, the idea that you could just pitch a tent wherever the fuck you like is over. Second, it is not going to be much longer until you freak the old Democrats out with all of this burning of fucking boxes, and then that's the next one. So nobody's defending all these ballots that get mailed in. No one can defend them. So they get set on fire by leftists. So it's over. Voting by mail is going to be over after this election because the leftists keep lighting the fucking ballot things on fire. I mean, I'm just sitting back like, what the fuck? But then I have to think about it. I'm like, no, I knew at some point something like this was going to happen. That you would collide boldly with the reality of how, if you do fucked up things, people really don't appreciate it. People really don't like fucked up stuff. They don't like you fucking up their stuff. So, yeah, just wanted to put some of those things out there, because more and more I'm like really looking at the left and I'm like, you do know why there's trees everywhere in Israel, right? Because the Jews took all these broke-ass people who arrived there and said, go out there and plant trees. Go out there and help these people do excavations. Go out there and do this public works project. And now they don't really need to do that. So it's one of these places that shows you when you have a pretty powerful centralized state and they want to do public works and kind of socialist stuff, that you've seen it now. You've seen the collective farm system that they have, and that they didn't expand it because after a certain point they realized this isn't very profitable in any way. This isn't very productive in a number of ways. So they're going to have to compete against private farms, and they managed to. And they figured out, like, okay, well, people want to come to kibbutzes and hang out, so they made it a place that you could also hang out. Very likely, from what I understand, there's to this day public support for them. Like the public actually pays to maintain some of the kibbutzes. To the point where when I went there were a lot of people who were fucking tired of it. And that was a long time ago. That was 20 some years ago, 30 years ago. So, yeah, I just thought about that. I'm like, you've actually told the people who without them, socialism would have gone nowhere. You've now made these people have to look at, so this is our neighbors who are socialists, and they'll annihilate us because that is the issue and the problem with socialism, is that it only works if you have slavery or you openly genocide people and steal more land and steal assets. It doesn't work any other way. Once you can no longer steal or just enslave people, or the whole the economics of slavery, it starts to show through how unproductive slavery is, and so yeah, I mean, and then don't get mad at me, get mad at Bakunin, if I believe that's his name, who saw clearly, like, all Marx is trying to do is to create slaves, because at some point, if it's a worker's paradise, who's doing the work? So that's good luck. God dang, good luck, dummies.